All right. What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to our movie review slash spoiler review of Mickey 17, Bong Joon Ho's follow up to Parasite. Couch has watched it. I've watched it. We have our thoughts. We have our pros and cons. I'm very excited to be back on. It's been a couple days that we've been absent, but we've been watching so much. I feel like we've been watching so much. So um, we're gonna kick off this review. Couch, how we doing?
Doing good, doing good. How you
All
been?
right, good. Where did you go see the movie, by the way? I heard you weren't a fan of the AMC
Yeah,
theaters down south. Really?
in general, AMC theaters have garbage seats, bro.
I, over here, like, what do they have over there? Because over here, they lean back. They're leather. We got the tables.
Yeah, but don't you gotta like force yourself to like lean back and it's all
No,
kind of
it's
like flat?
no, it's all automatic. Like with the like if I'm at home.
Mm,
Well, I guess
no,
different
but isn't it
AMC's.
all like flat though?
No, man. It's like puffy leather
No, but like
seats.
the ground, like it's all level. Like it's like the person in front of you is probably like 2 inches shorter than where you are on the ground. You
Like,
know
what
what
do
I
you mean?
mean?
Like, it bothers your view of the screen?
Yeah, like it just slightly tilts down, but then you go to like Regals and it's like an actual type theater thing, you know? So it's like there's rows, it's above.
I guess maybe it depends.
I
Cause
don't know. To
like,
me, it's so much better.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just like that A list, bro. That A list program is crazy. Like,
No, yeah.
it's there's no one that has a program that good.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I asked
I,
somebody that, like an employee about it.
hmm.
'Cause it wasn't Regals, but it was some other local one.
Yeah,
It's good theater, though. It looks kind of just like Regals. But yeah, they don't have, they got like a rewards program per se, but nothing like AMC.
yeah. I used to be a Regal fanatic, bro. Loyal, but now with that deal, bro, 3 movies a week, and they're about to increase it to four.
Really?
Yeah, for $27 a month. I'm
I
like,
might have
yo.
to. I might have to suck it up then. Cause
So
yeah, I didn't like the seats, but yeah,
yeah,
back to the movie.
yeah. So this is basically the structure for this review. The reason why we're saying movie review, spoiler review. In the first half of it, we're gonna talk generally, right? We're not gonna go into specifics. We're gonna we'll go into some detail about how we felt about it, what we thought were, you know, the high points of the movie. Um, Structurally, I would say, technically, but we're not gonna go into detail until the end of this video. That's where we're gonna go into detail. I would like so we both, we've had a full day to analyze this. I think it's been exactly 24 hours since we watched it. Couch, what are your thoughts on this movie? Um, it's like I said, directed by Bong Joon Ho, starring Robert Pattinson, which great actor. It has Mark Ruffalo, it has Tony Collette, it has Stephen Yeun. Pretty good cast. Like we said, Bong Joon Ho coming off of his Best Picture winner, Parasite. Um, he follows it up with this movie. So a quick synopsis before you give us your thoughts on it, Couch. I'm just going off. So it's a disposable employee. What the movie's about? A disposable employee is set on a human expedition to colonize the ice world, Niflheim. After one iteration dies, a new body is regenerated with most of his memories intact. That's basically the walking, on the surface of what the movie is about. I would love to get your take on this, Couch.
All right. So, as you know, I have never seen this guy's movies. I haven't seen. I heard Parasite was great though. And I believe it won an Oscar, right?
It won Best Picture,
It won
and it
Best Picture.
won Bong Joon Ho 4 Oscars that year.
Yeah.
Dude, it
Okay.
was
I heard that. I heard it was a great movie. I just never watched it. I haven't, as far as I know, I haven't seen any of his other movies.
yeah,
So coming right off the bat from it, I think it was a good movie. I heard people, including you, I heard people be like, "Yeah, this is the same director of Parasite. Go watch that one, by the way." And it's just like, I mean, I get it. It could be better, but it's two different movies, two different stories. You know, like I don't know.
yeah.
I think it's kind of harsh to compare the two, but I mean, again, I've never seen Parasite, so with that being said, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed myself. I actually didn't watch the trailer, bro. I lied. I watched like the little sneak peeks from Snapchat.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a 5 second thing, and it caught my attention because I was
Wow,
watching the trailer right now, and
the
I was like,
power of marketing.
"Yeah, dude." I had no idea that he was like a multiple in the movie. Like I
Yeah,
knew it was gonna happen because there's so much you can do about like cloning stories, but I did not know it was gonna happen. I figured it was gonna happen, just didn't know it.
yeah. No, listen, it's. I like that it's such an original movie. I mean, it's so original. Um, listen, so I've seen a couple of Bong Joon-ho's projects. I would agree with what you're saying. Kind of harsh to you know judge or compare this movie to his magnum opus, his honestly his greatest triumph as a filmmaker, which was Parasite. I was just expecting a fun time at the movies, and you know his style of directing. Um, I would say I got that's kind of what I got from the movie. Now, in terms of overall my enjoyment, yeah, I had some problems with it. Um, which we'll go into details. But it there. Let's start with the pros. Let's start with the pros because I feel very just really comfortable in saying Robert Pattinson, dude.
He was
That dude
great,
is
man.
such a
He
good
was great.
actor. The days of Twilight are have been like so far gone from it for me, but my God, this guy is he is like probably one of the best actors that work in independent cinema because he does a lot of independent projects. And honestly, that's where I feel that he has gained so much recognition from his fellow from his fellow actors, from the industry as a whole. It's where he has grown, where he has spread his wings. And this movie, although it's a higher budget movie, it doesn't feel that way. It still feels independent, which I
Yeah.
love that Bong Joon Ho knows how to walk that line so well. I mean, he could really make an indie film feel high budget, and how he can make a high budget movie feel indie at the same time. I think that's just so talented of him. Um, and casting Robert Pattinson, I think this is his first project since the Batman.
I believe
Um,
so.
man, does he deliver a great performance? And like it says on the synopsis, he has to perform, you know, more than one version of the titular character, Mickey. And I totally see two different characters. One does not seem familiar to the other because the same actor is playing him. I mean, he just does such a great job. And another thing that I have to commend uh, Robert Pattinson about is he really carries this movie so well. I mean, the idea of it is so big. The scope, is so big. You have big actors like Mark Ruffalo. You have Tony Collette, and he's the titular character, yes, but he like out. does himself, he's like on another acting level for me than they are. And I'll go further into, those guys, but I feel like the casting was great. Robert Pattinson brings the drama when it has to be brought. He brings the charisma when he has to be brought, when he has to bring it, and the dude has comedy chops too. I mean, there are a
Yeah.
bunch of times where we got laugh out loud moments.
That movie, I did not expect comedy from it at all. I expected more of like a drama thriller. And when I bought the ticket, I believe it did say it was comedy, like drama comedy, thriller comedy, something like that. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens. But there are a lot of good moments. I'm not gonna lie. Like it'll be just a serious moment for a bit, and then it'll just have like that little dry humor. If you're into dry
Yeah,
humor, you're
it's
gonna
like
you're
this
gonna have a good
black
time.
humor that he's so good. Again, Bong Joon Ho wrote the screenplay. He has that skill set, and it's so refreshing, I guess, to see someone like Robert Pattinson, right, delving in that realm. This was a good combination for me. It really worked. Um, yeah, he really did sell me on the idea of this movie. Um, I guess moving on to what you thought could have been better, Couch. I want to throw it back to you. What stopped this from being a great film? Not that it has to be, but do you have
Mm,
any cons on this?
honestly, we'll get to the ratings later, but
Yeah.
my my rating's not that high. I'll just start off with that. It's not the
Okay.
highest, but we'll get to that here in a bit.
Yeah.
With that being said, though, I don't necessarily think I would write this movie any differently.
Mm.
The well, there's one thing I guess I would say. I would I think this is more to spoiler territory, so I guess we can pick up on that later. But I mean, yeah, like I said, I just don't really think there's something in it that I'm like that that needs to change, that needs to be worked. Yeah, and you know me, I love rewriting stuff in my head. I'm like, oh, it should have been done like this.
Right.
Like,
The oh my god, what is it called? The something of hindsight.
I don't know. For me, it's
Oh,
like,
benefit of hindsight, right?
yeah. For me, it's like
Oh,
movies, not whatever. Like, I can't write a script to save my life,
oh
but
my
I do highly think I could improve on one. In this case, I don't really think so. Honestly, dude, it's pretty good, start and finish. It's a bit it's a bit slow paced in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie,
oh my
but I
yeah.
mean, I guess that's what you'd get from like a drama thriller type movie. It's not gonna be action all around, comedy all around.
Yeah.
It has a story it wants to tell. I think it did a pretty good job. Um,
I
the
Go ahead.
only, yeah, the only thing I would say though is again, I didn't see the trailer until just a few minutes ago. I feel like it should have been kept from the audience, or like the trailer watchers, that he was gonna be a multiple. I think that would be like the only thing I would say. And,
Gotcha.
and then again, when we get into spoiler territory, like I'll say why.
The cons for me, I had a couple because this movie, I felt like it had highs, but and it had lows. And what I mean by that is the screenplay. It really lacked. Uh, the, Bong Joon Ho, from what I've been, and again, I'm not trying to judge him on from what he just came from Parasite. No, but I am used to seeing a little bit more of finesse, a little bit of a higher quality touch when it comes to his screenplays. And the script for me just wasn't doing it. I mean, there are some characters that in this movie that are completely, for me, um, I mean, unlikable in the sense that not unlikable like Hans Landa in Inglorious Bastards. Not unlikable like characters like that. Rather, they were just kind of a nuisance when it came to the advancement of the plot, and it just kept taking me out of the movie, kept taking me out of the movie, and like, listen, I agree. The first hour of this movie felt so slow paced. I mean, I think that's when we communicated. I think you asked me
Yeah.
what you thought of it so far. I was like mid, but it's picking up,
Hmm.
and it just so happened to be picking up when we got a little bit more of Robert Pattinson. In terms of the technicality of the movie, that movie is shot beautifully. I mean,
Yeah.
it is
Every.
so crisp, so
Hmm.
detailed.
The
The
visuals, the
visual effects are
sound,
great.
it was all good.
Sound is
Honestly.
great. Um, and I'll even say this: the directing is great too. It's not like he didn't, it's not like he failed. Bong Joon Ho failed for me personally in the whole movie. Rather, it was in the story and the script that I had the hardest time getting through. And I'll be honest with you, he almost even lost me until, like I said, halfway in the movie. I actually checked my phone. It was like 50, 55 minutes into the movie when it started to pick up, when things were falling a little more in line. Um, Overall, not my favorite Bong Joon Ho movie. I could give you two easy ones that go over this in terms of you know what I would recommend people for people. I mean, this movie, I I love the idea that he sets out. His that initial idea, right? The reason why we're getting multiples, what's going on. It's it's a great idea. I mean, it feels like such an independent movie idea, right? But that he has now the clout, I would say, to bring to a bigger scale, and I'm glad that he does because there are some great things about this movie, right? Visually, like I said, visually it's stunning. I love this, many aspects. We can't go into spoilers here, but eh, as the movie progressed, after that hour mark, I would say it just got so much better. Things were falling so much more in line, making more sense and giving us, you know, an idea of what is the story that he's trying to tell. And by the end, I feel like you do get it, but you had to go through so much muck, I would say, so much, uh, such this slow pace in order to get to that moment that for me it hindered so much of what this movie could have offered. Couch overall on a ratings on your rating scale, what would you give this movie?
So I walked out the theater. Honestly, just because I had no expectations, I walked
Mhm.
out of it giving it a 7.
Okay,
Cause I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy it, and I'm not one to rewatch movies, but I think I would rewatch this one.
okay,
And after after thinking about it more, and after seeing like other people reviews on it, and I definitely think people were way too harsh on the movie,
hmm
but they did bring out some good points, and I think I'm gonna have to drop it to like a 6.5.
yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm at a 6.5. Like I said, not his best outing. It has great things in it. I think it has the idea itself is enough to put me in the theaters. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
such a cool thing, a cool idea that they show us right in the first trailer. Unfortunately, it didn't deliver on how good it could have been. I feel. Um, Listen, would I recommend it? I think I would recommend
100%.
it.
A
I
hundred
think I
percent.
would recommend it because it is ultimately it is a fun time, and maybe the humor. And that pace, although I found it slow, listen, movies are subjective. That's the beauty of movies, right? I might not think so much about it where you might revere it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you guys saw it this weekend, I would definitely say go see it. On a don't go
Hmm.
and a go spend your money,
It's
have a good time at the theaters. I say go.
it's definitely a go for me as well. Um, and I mean, I guess since we're already like at this point, we can talk about spoilers
Yes.
because
So
I
now is the time where, listen, if that was, you heard our recommendation, we say go see it. It's still there's a good movie in there. There's
mhm.
a good movie in there. So go watch that now, or go watch that and then come back to us. This is the cool thing, right? Of doing it, splitting this video in half because now we get to talk spoilers. So once you see it, once you've gathered your thoughts or you have your opinion on it, come back and maybe we'll have the same opinion. Maybe we'll have different ones, you know. But now we're gonna enter, like Couch said, that spoiler territory. Those moments in detail that we liked, the ones that we didn't like. Couch, why don't you kick us off? There
All
were
right,
some great moments. Let's
there
talk
were.
about the good.
The good is, I mean, there, all the good was really said. To be honest, I don't really think there was really anything we can say that is a spoiler, but it's just yeah, everything was good, dude. Robert Pattinson killed it. All the actors did amazing. Mark Ruffalo and his wife in the movie. What'd you say her name was?
The actress Tony Collette.
Tony Collette. I knew it was something Collette. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tony Collette. They both did an amazing job. I hated both of them throughout the whole movie, and I was like, "You guys are doing great, man."
Oh my god.
And
I'll be honest with you. I didn't enjoy them. They're
really,
they're the thing that I didn't enjoy.
I think that's the point, though. You know,
No,
because I
yes,
heard somebody
I
talk
get
about
that.
that too. They're like, "Oh, Mark Ruffalo is this and that, blah blah." Blah. But that's the point. They're not supposed to be likable.
So I came into this review, right, like I didn't want to see anybody's opinion on it, right? For me, they just didn't work. I felt like it was like this. There were moments when, yes, they're funny, like that whole dinner scene, bro. I was dying.
Yeah.
I was absolutely dying. Like they were great. Listen, yeah. I guess
It's just
we're
that's the
supposed to hate
point,
them, right? Yeah, I guess
Like
so.
the lady from Harry Potter in the fifth one, the one who becomes like the new headmaster or something.
Yeah.
Everybody hates her. I
Oh
told
yeah.
people I hate that movie, and they're like, "Oh, because of her, right?" I'm like, "No, I hate the movie in general, but she didn't help." But yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just they did such a good job. If you hate the person, the actor's done an amazing
but
job.
but but the thing is, see, I think I came in a little compromised when it comes to Mark Ruffalo, and I'll tell you why. Because those people that have seen um Poor Things movie that came out last year, it was at the Oscars, right? And he does a very very similar performance. I'm talking
Mm,
about it is so close that I was like, this guy literally could have been that other guy from that other movie. I'm telling you, I saw the performance. I was like, it's. I get what Bong Joon Ho's trying to do. I get what he's trying to write, but they just kept being so unimportant to me in the movie. And then they had this like highlight moments, and then I guess I'm supposed to hate them, and I have mixed feelings about it. Um, and honestly, uh, right, talking about cons or whatever, man, the beginning for me, there was so much exposition in the beginning.
yeah, for sure.
Like they threw that at us, like there is a lot, and then there comes a point in the movie where I was like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing in this movie? Like, are we like, what's the purpose of it? What's the goal here? Because even getting to Niflheim, right? It was weird. You know what? It was well into the second act or third act of the movie where I found out that they had made it to Niflheim all along. I thought they were like floating in space, not wanting to come down to the planet, or like that big ship that they were actually in. I thought it was like a shuttle,
Really?
dude. I thought it was a shuttle.
I thought it was
So
pretty obvious because they sent him down and they told him like breathe in the air and all that.
yeah,
I
but
think at that point it was pretty
like I
obvious at
thought
that
I
point.
thought it was like the ship that he took to go to that planet. But then it was like, and I remember them saying, it's been like a year since we landed, something like that, or
Hmm.
a couple months, something like that. And I was like, oh damn, so they're actually on this thing, and they're just in the ship because they don't know how to react to the outside to the aliens. Okay, so we could talk about the aliens here, right? Those aliens were
I
awesome.
love them. I
I
love
love
them.
them. I those
They were
aliens.
they
There's
are
some of the things
disgusting.
that
I don't want to
they are.
touch them, but I
I don't
love
even
them.
want to see one ever in my life.
I love
But
them.
they were so. First of all, the design of them so good.
Hmm.
The their effect on the story also so good. I mean, they were characters in the story.
Yeah.
These little bug looking things that you'd stomp on if they were small enough. But
Hmm.
like when they
A
would
little
do those,
thing in the trailer where you're just like, oh, they're gonna,
yeah, like you
they're
thought
gonna kill him and this and that, blah blah. But
exactly.
yeah,
That was
no,
such a cool thing, right?
they're a
When
very important part of the story.
when the queen or king or whatever she pulled them from the leg, dragged them up. I mean, they are kind of the reason that the story starts kicking into place. Because when I said in the non spoiler review that it's not until we see more Pattinson that
Hmm.
for me it started picking up. It wasn't until 18 came into the movie that I started enjoying it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how, again, speaking about Robert Pattinson, this dude is playing off of himself. He's playing off of himself. He's going back and forth with literally like no one there, and you get this chemistry between himself, which is so weird to say, but man, this dude was selling me on both of these guys sharing a room. He was selling me on the idea of different personalities, sharing me on the idea that they both have same memories, but they're both different people. They're different people, and I thought it was so fascinating. Um, their girlfriend Nasha, I believe her name was. Uh,
Yeah, some Nasha and Nisha, something like that.
yeah, it was like okay. Then I felt that I just felt that he left everyone in this movie so behind when it comes to the performances that, which is weird to say. I thought he was so good that it actually affected the movie. I don't know. It was weird for me, but man, did he knock it out of the park with that performance?
Hmm.
Um, and that scene that I sent you when he,
when
you
he's
know,
when he's yelling at himself.
oh
It
my
is one
god,
one of the it's not even one of the it is the funniest scene in that movie
it is
because
the
all
funniest.
I'm thinking is I would be the same way, bro.
Oh my god. Well,
I am not too aggressive per se, like realistically speaking. As joke, yeah,
no, yeah,
but
bro.
but if I had a clone or like a twin or whatever of me that's exactly like me, and I see him being a little punk, like I'm gonna call your ass out on it.
Bro,
So seeing him yell at him and like jump at him like he's about to punch him,
let me tell you.
I was
I
cracking
mean,
up.
this all was, it also goes hand in hand with the scene before when he goes and has dinner with them, and this guy's having a heart attack because, again, pushing the idea that he is an expendable person. They're trying a different kind of, I forgot what they said on his steak or on whatever he,
It was like a growth hormone. I don't know if
yeah.
it was a growth hormone for the people or for the meat or the fake meat.
And this dude is flipping out like he is in so much agony, and I mean they're about to blow his brains out.
He's like
And she's like,
Mark Ruffalo's
wait, wait. She screams, right, Tony Collette? And I'm like, oh, because, you're about to shoot your guest
mm-hmm.
in the face. And she's like, not on that
Not
carpet,
on my
bro. I was
carpet.
dying, bro. She was like,
You
okay, go ahead. And he was like, nah, I'm actually feeling better
yeah.
now. Then he
And when
gets
the
scolded by him.
scientist is telling him, he's like, "Oh, so I am so sorry. That was not supposed to happen."
Oh
And he's like,
my
"No,
God.
no." Mark Ruffalo is like, "No, no, it's okay, it's okay." And then they
Yo,
give him the painkiller, and he's like, "Sorry, it appears like it's not working. I am so sorry." And he's like, "No, it's okay, it's okay." And he pulls out his gun.
oh my God, dude. It was so
Oh my
hilarious.
god,
So
yeah,
then
bro.
the next scene, he's like, he's getting scolded because he's like, "Oh my God, he did that to you at the dinner," and he was like, "So after he almost blew your brains out, you let him have it, right? Right?" And he's like,
I
"What did you
thanked him for
say?"
dinner.
He was like, "I thanked him for dinner," and then the camera starts slowly zooming in on him,
Just
and
shows
then
him start geeking out. He's mad.
18 gets closer to him, and he's like, "You did what?" And then he's like, "I thanked him for dinner. You freaking this and that." And bro, oh my God, it was so freaking
Honestly, for
fun.
that scene alone, y'all gotta watch it.
Yo, the whole theater, my whole theater burst into laughter, bro. We could not stop laughing at that
I think
whole
my theater was
situation.
pretty whack, bro. Nobody really laughed.
Not listen
There
for
were like chuckles, but that's about it.
I think it was an 8:30 curtain call. A decent amount of people for Wednesday or Tuesday matinee, whatever. But the my theater was pretty into the movie. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they were they're pretty good into the movie. A lot of laughs. There are a bunch of laughs in this movie. I mean, that's just one of them. But I mean, from like the first second of craziness. Remember when he's outside spacewalking and he just loses his hand from like a little asteroid or something? Just cut it out. We were like, oh.
Dude, I think I like blanked out at some point because I don't remember that.
Oh my God,
I
bro.
seen it in the trailer, but that's it.
Bro, it was so funny. And then oh my God, everything that had to do with when 18 was about to sleep with Nasha, all the things he tried to do to get there, and
Yeah.
he just couldn't get there. I mean, it was so funny. Um, Other than that, they like I said, there were some great moments. And then, did you like the ending?
I did and I didn't. I thought the dream sequence was a little pointless.
Yeah, right. Absolutely pointless. I didn't get that at all.
I get it because he kind of says it at the end, uh, like he thinks too much about people and this and that and blah blah. And I mean, I don't know. Like, I get what they're trying to say, but it was just so weird. Like, it
Yeah,
could have been a completely different dream sequence. Or maybe it's just that,
exactly.
he feels very, like, guilty. So,
I don't see why he should.
it's just that personality. Because they kind of let it's like you blank out for a second, you'll miss it, a dialogue.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
like, every Mickey comes out with a different
Yeah. Yep.
personality, and
Yep.
they never really explain it.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't
but
get
yeah,
why they do.
yeah, I don't either, honestly. And I mean, like I was
Oh my
saying,
God. You
I
remember
don't
when he
know
was
how.
getting printed and they wouldn't put the table there, so you just see this guy's head swing out of there, bro. Oh my
The first time they rushed to get the table, and then like after the sixth time, they just didn't
Yeah,
care.
they were like, we don't care. He just slams on the
Yeah,
floor, bro. Oh my God, it was so fun. And when they would throw him into the fire, I was like, yo, this is such a crazy idea.
yeah.
By the way, his friend was a douche all the way through.
Oh, for sure.
All the way through.
And the, that's the thing too. Now that we're in like in spoiler territory,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say earlier. One for sure, they should never have showed him being a multiple, but that was in a trailer, so not a spoiler. But what I think they really should have heavily relied on, and mainly because, for starters, you know this is based off a book, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's based off Mick 7.
yeah.
He's the seventh one, or they're 7 and 8, and this one
Hmm.
they're 17, 18. You're gonna add 10 more deaths, and you're not gonna really go into it. Like, I feel like they should have showed more of his like dangerous missions, because he says it in the trailer too.
Right.
It's like, I'm on all these dangerous missions, but most of his deaths came from stepping outside to Niflheim, or whatever the place is called, and breathing it in the air, so they can keep getting all these multiple samples and finally create a cure for everybody to step outside without, any gas mask or oxygen tanks, anything like that. They created something for everybody in the ship and the future generation to breathe that air. And I don't know. I just thought it was weird. Like, why waste all that death on that one, on just that one thing? They should have been more.
But yeah, I mean that comes down to also, you know, the idea of them going straight to Niflheim. I mean, to me, it should have been an expedition, and it wasn't. The
Yeah.
idea
Hmm.
of him being expendable is an expedition in and of itself, but
Yeah, and they don't get too into it. Like,
they
you
don't.
see a few deaths, but it's really just like,
Comic relief. It's
yeah,
all
it's
it's all
comic
to make us
relief
laugh. Yeah,
and toying with him. Like, it should have, whatever they did to experiment on him should have been for something important to the civilization. Because the only thing I know for sure that they did was they killed him for a cure to breathe Niflheim's air
yeah,
and to create that toxin at the end, that gas at the end.
yeah. Which is so useless of a. ah,
In the
I
grand scheme of things, yeah,
yeah,
because you
absolutely.
have all these, you bring in all this artillery first off, and you already like you already know the air's kind of poisonous to you. What makes you think you created a poison that's toxic to them?
You know what I feel would have kept me a little more entertained would have been if those deaths would have been like Interstellar. What I mean by that is if this was an exploratory mission to find a home, to colonize a world. Okay,
Hmm.
that's fine. So you go to one world, maybe it's not inhabitable, maybe they come up with a reason why Mickey should be exposed to those kind of circumstances. Then they go to
Hmm.
the next one. But on this one, yeah, I feel like they did waste the deaths. I'm not familiar with the book. I haven't read it.
I'm not either, but I just know if you're gonna add another 10, like,
Yeah,
like
right.
make it more, like, I don't know, just like you said, like an expedition, you know?
If they would have done that, then I feel like the first act going into the second act would have felt a little bit better paced,
Yeah.
better, a little bit tighter with the structure of the story that they were telling.
And you know what would
Because
have
I feel,
been? Hmm.
go ahead.
No, no, continue.
I feel like they just stuck themselves in this ship and had to play with it. I felt like they
Yeah, for
forced
sure.
themselves to
I didn't
play
think
with the
about it like that.
characters in the ship, whereas you're already making this big budget movie. Give us a little bit of the outside. Give us a little bit of the unknown, and and you know weave these characters that you have set up with that environment. I feel that that would have kept us a little bit more entertained in the first and half of the second act, so that that third act has a better payoff. Like, oh, we found the place that works for us. We have these, the animals, this and that. Like, it didn't have to be this 1 hour and a half trek of exploration. Rather, all the exposition, if they would have merged it that we got in the first half, if they would have merged it with something like that where the plot takes us step by step in order to get to where ultimately they'll end up at, I think it would have helped the story.
Yeah. Um. So what I was gonna say is, again, I don't know how I could rewrite it per se to make it better, but for sure things I would add on to it. is just add like more exploration, make his deaths a little bit more kind of more meaningful to it.
Meaningful, yep.
Like when the girl gets crushed, I feel like that would have been a great point to like set something up because he was already cursing him out, like you're an expendable, blah blah, this and that.
Yep.
Like that should have been in his head. Like, all right, we got to get rid of this guy. Like he's useless. I feel like that would have been a good turning point. You know, kind of
Yeah.
up the stakes. Because then later on, when he's shown as a multiple, in your head, you're like, if they never showed that he's a multiple and they have to die, or whatever. If
Hmm.
they didn't show that in the trailer, I feel like that would have been a good part to kind of play off of. Like, oh, we're a multiple. They're gonna kill us.
I actually agree with you on that because I felt like they were stuck in this black comedy genre
Hmm.
where they could have delved a little deeper into the meaning of Mickey's situation.
Yeah, it could have
And
been a lot more than just this is the law because the
yeah,
law doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
yep, yep, I agree. Um, so yeah, guys, overall, Mickey 17, it's a good movie. I'm not gonna say it's a bad
Yeah,
movie. I'm gonna say it's not. Listen, we're not
it's not the
getting
best.
a
It's not the
crazy.
greatest.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. Um, like
It's
we
not
said
the
earlier,
worst either.
we would recommend it. We would recommend it because it is this goofy, fun idea that Bong Joon Ho brought, and definitely some great moments in the movie. Um, it's more our struggle with calling this a great movie stems from I feel like the structure of the story. When it comes to visuals, though, it's a feast. I mean, it is good.
Yeah,
You were money throughout there.
visuals and soundtrack are
Visual
fire.
and soundtrack, absolutely great. Direction, great. Like for me personally, Robert Pattinson stole the show. Stole every scene he was in, and kind of didn't let anyone else shine in this thing. I felt like he was on a higher level, which is crazy because Mark Ruffalo and Tony Collette were in this movie. Both, I believe, are Oscar nominees. So but listen, that was me. I'm sure you'll probably love or have your opinion on the other characters, but yeah, for me, Mickey 17, good movie. Couch also agrees. We gave it our
Yeah.
score
So are
of.
we both at a 6.5?
I'm at a solid 6.5 on this one.
Okay. Yeah, because
Definitely.
even thinking about it now, all the cons we gave it, how they could have done better,
Yeah,
it was ultimately still an enjoyable movie.
it was. I mean, yeah, because it gets better. Like it has a slow start,
Yeah,
but it really picks up. And when it picks up, it didn't.
when it
It,
picked,
it doesn't like. It doesn't let you go. It doesn't let you go. It takes you along for the ride. I feel. Couch.
yeah, no, it was good. Like you were saying, the first half I was just kind of whatever. I'm not gonna lie, I was on my phone for a bit. That's probably why I missed the astronaut scene. Um, but but yeah, I mean, like you said, once it hooks you. Once they get to Niflheim, it gets so much better.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was our review of Mickey 17. Leave us your thoughts. Leave us your comments. What did you guys think about it? Listen, I'm gonna take this opportunity to absolutely recommend two of Bong Joon Ho's uh films. If you guys haven't seen Parasite, came out 2019. It is a masterclass in filmmaking, and another Bong Joon Ho movie that is a masterclass is oh my god, Mystery of Murder. Oh my god, I forgot the name. Hold up, I'll tell you guys right now. Memories. There you. I always say mystery. Memories of Murder. Two great movies. Oh, Snowpiercer too. I totally forgot about Snowpiercer.
Yeah,
Um,
I looked up his movies and I saw Snowpiercer. I
Dude,
forgot about that one
Snowpiercer.
too.
Also the guy is a great filmmaker. This is his newest project. I hope you guys go check it out. Have a good time. We feel like you will, and we'll see you on the next one.